Well, a very good morning to you. Let's continue our focus on the US elections, and Republican Donald Trump is leading in the US presidential election, drawing more support than he did in his failed 2020 campaign. But the result will hinge on the battleground states, and we're seeing so many results coming in, and we're seeing more and more headed in the direction of Trump. In fact, the latest results that I have in front of me, 200, well, actually, let me not give you the latest results. I think we've got Sherwin Bryce-Pease on the line. I think it's best that we get actually him. No, we've just lost him. So what I can do is give you a little bit of an update that I've got in front of me, but I actually think it's changed since then. I've still got 182 to 230, but it definitely has jumped. Thank you. It's 209. Let me take it here, and I'll give you that. Mine wasn't updating. It's 209 to Kamala Harris and 230 to Trump. Remember, that sweet spot is 270. So, goodness me, it is very, very, very close. But I'll tell you what, the Trump supporters, I think, I can see up the corner of my eye a rally for the Trump party. They are definitely waving their flags a little more furiously at this point. But let's now go to show, and he is standing by. The last time we saw him, he was in the streets of New York. I'm sure he's still there in Times Square. Yes, he is. Sherwin, this is, wow, okay. Trump, I suppose, I don't know. What do you think? What are we thinking at the moment?
It's certainly looking good for Donald Trump. Certainly that Donald Trump will make a historic, likely return to the White House, but not all is said and done yet. The fat lady hasn't quite sung yet, Leanne. He has won the state of North Carolina, one of the key swing states in this election. We are still waiting for final returns out of the state of Georgia. But as I've been saying all night, were he to win both those southern swing states, he will have narrowed Kamala Harris's path to 270 swing state electoral college votes, I beg your pardon. She will then have to win Pennsylvania. She will have to win Michigan. She will have to win Wisconsin if she wants to have any chance of winning the White House. And that is looking increasingly slim. The New York Times has its predictor at almost 90% that Donald Trump will win this election. I will also add that it had similar numbers for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and we all know what happened there. Actually lost this election. So the possibility, the chance of Kamala Harris making a sweeping comeback still, of course, exists. All the numbers are not in. They are still waiting for returns out of Detroit, the large metropolis in the state of Michigan. They're still waiting for returns from places like Philadelphia in the state of Pennsylvania. So things could still change here. But it's certainly looking increasingly difficult for her, and she would have wanted to be in a better position at this point in the race. All not lost, but certainly not good, looking good for Harris at this point. And just to add, Leanne, that the Democrats who currently control the United States Senate, they've lost control of the United States Senate. So they will be looking to regain control, possibly of the House of Representatives. Were they to win the White House, were they to win the Senate, Democrats' last hope in this election cycle will be to regain some dignity by winning the House of Representatives. But those numbers won't be in for a few days yet, given just how expansive the map is in terms of that. 435 members of the House of Representatives on the ballot in this election. And of course, in the far-flung states of California, Wisconsin, Hawaii, those returns in places like Alaska will take some time to get in.
They certainly will. And I'm reading here that Hawaii has just, they've come through, and this is Associated Press, they're calling Kamala Harris as a win for Hawaii. So that's another one to come in. But I mean, these aren't the big ticket numbers, are they? I mean, the big ticket numbers we're still waiting for. And as you say, it's leaving very little room for any mistake for these swing states for Kamala Harris. I mean, if one is called in Trump's favor, that's pretty much so her race over. And I can't imagine Democrats are happy with what they're seeing.
Absolutely not. And if he were to win Georgia and Pennsylvania, this race is over. You know, you talk about the big ticket numbers. The big ticket number in this election, in terms of the Electoral College, is the state of California. And you know who's from the state of California? Kamala Harris. Some 54 Electoral College votes up for grabs in the state of California. But as we've been speaking, the traditional strongholds for either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party have gone the way we had predicted. So California is already projected to be in Harris's column. But it still doesn't get her. Those 54 Electoral College votes still doesn't get her above 270. So you need that Rust Belt. You need Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Had she won in North Carolina, that she wouldn't then be so reliant on a Pennsylvania in this iteration. But it's not looking good in those southern swing states, and it's also not looking good in the Rust Belt. She might eke out a victory there. We just don't know. The numbers are not fully in yet, and they will take some time, particularly in the state of Pennsylvania. Probably, they say, around 5 a.m. our time tomorrow, around noon South African time, but that's just a prediction. We might be at this for a while yet.
I think so. I think so. Previous elections, we were at it for days, so that's something to keep into consideration. Sherwin, thank you. Keep your eye on the ground, keep your ear to the wires, and we'll be back with you. And we'll get an update from Sherwin Bryce-Pease standing there in Times Square, bringing us the latest from the US elections.